I'm spilling water. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I say unto you, it is time to talk. This is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahaya has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Thank the Most High, Ahaya, who He is all by Himself. And I say, shalom, shalom in the live chat. Okay, okay. Yes, I'm coming with a message. And this is the time to talk. That means if you have any answers, you have any questions, you can pull it up. You have any chapters or verses you want to discuss, this is the time. You can pull it up. So it is time to talk. I have some information as well that I want to cover. So it's open. I guess I could, and I think I come in between, but I'm noticing a lot of things, even with the weather, and how Texas, they normally don't have that type of weather that they're having. And I noticed that weather came in during the time of uh, football game, where I was seeing who goes to the Super Bowl. So you had a lot of people tuning in to football, and a lot of people wasn't focusing on a lot of computers being slow and phones acting up and all kind of things was going on, and a lot of people didn't pay attention. See, this is what is dangerous, is when you're not really beholding what's in the midst of you, what is being said, what is being done, and how. And it's not like you're going to be able to control what a system does, because the Father Himself got all that in control. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. So the Father have all that in His full control. So therefore, it's not like we can really control what the system has planned, but it's just so many things that we can control, and we don't say anything regarding. Again, this is time to talk. So if you have any questions and you have any answers to questions, or if you have any chapters or verses you would like to cover or speak on, this is the time. This is the time to talk. So anyone in the live chat, is up to you what we can go from here. But Sister Deborah going to come in on Matthew's chapter 4, and I'm going to kind of bump off of Deuteronomy chapter 8. So those will be the two chapters I will be coming in regarding. I know yesterday I didn't know if anyone got a chance or an opportunity to see the videos. Shalom, shalom. Any of those videos. But if you have not, you could still check out maybe later or some other day, because they're saying pretty much spirit and truth. Some spirit and truth is in it, in what they're saying. Uh, Something was spoken to me today about a mind game. Do you all know anything about mind gaming? He was saying something about they using the weakness of where people are at, and they're using it, and that's why they can't get off of it. You figure, well, why is it a person would stay in this lane and have this for so many years? It's like they can't shake it. And he said because they're using it as a mind game tool. They found out the weakness of men. You see, the weakness of where they at, their weakest point, and they figured, it works. It works really well. So they hang firm to it, but they're deceiving the flesh of our men. And that's all well too, because the Father said, Deborah, the deceivers need those that he must deceive. So, he got what he got him somebody he can deceive. And I noticed that because I was like, well, what is it you're saying about they're using mind manipulation? It was another word he used. And I was like, but what is that saying? That's how they're trapping them to believe. Because you wonder even how those that's in the camp, how could they be so weak to what a man is saying to get them to believe it's like this? And it's like pastors too, same way. They doing the same way. The same thing. You remember how we used to say, oh, they was in the church and they've been, all the people that been in the church and they've been lied to and all. And let me tell you something. It's your own nation who say that they are awakened in the Hebrew Israelite movement. They are the biggest, and I am not. We would sit and say that the heathens then really lied to us. The Father said, ain't nobody lied to you all. You lied to yourself. Because he always had the light on for us. He always had Satan to leave the light on. We just steal the same ones in Hosea 6 and verse 4. Is it so Hosea 4 and verse 6? I think it is, where he said, my people, they perish due to lack of knowledge. And then he used to say to me, don't stop there, because they reject knowledge. It ain't that they're perishing for nothing. Then the Father buckled up and said, and I shall reject them and their children. See? And we really think that everything that's actually taking place in this country is the work of and the strength of the flesh of heathens and Gentiles. No, it ain't. It's your own nation. Okay. So if you have any questions or you want to Hitler played the mind games as well back in the days, okay? That I definitely know. What you said, brainwashing and gaslighting. That's one of the words also, it dawned on me, but when you said gaslighting, that's what I heard. That's it. You got it. Wow. Brainwashing it. And it is off the chain. But it's that way because he prophesied that it would be. And that's why the great falling away. You remember he talked about the great falling away. What are they going to fall away? Because they're going to be brainwashed and gaslighting. Yeah. And that's why. See, and the reason why I say that is, I was like, Father, why is it that a person can be so strong or have a stronghold in making sure men is in full tact in what he is saying to deceive them? He said because he's using them. It's dealing with the mind. You know what I'm saying? And he gives them where they weak at. There it is. Where they are weak at, that's what he go after. And he says things that he know already where their weakness rests, and he wear that thing out. And he has found throughout years that many of these men desire to be fed in their flesh regarding women not being who they should be in their eyes. And this is why it's constantly throughout time an individual, he cannot just think that you ain't speaking spirit and truth. You ain't speaking no light to nobody, but you constantly gaslighting the men brainwashing them. And you wonder where they be thinking, oh, that's good. Oh, they be marveling off of what is wicked and evil. It is just, it's something. Anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions or you have answers to questions, it's your time as well to talk. It's a mind control. It's a mind control. And I just can't, I'm just like, okay. And that too, he said he shall deal with. Let me show you an example. What I'm gonna show you how he gave it to me. Let me show you right quick. He said, now listen to this. He said, Deborah, when judgment time were heaven and hell, heaven and the lake of fire. That's what he said. Heaven's in the lake of fire. When they stand before glory, he said, now listen now. Because I knew all of this, what he's talking about, but I never heard it like this. This is what he said. When they stand before glory, you heard, that's what he said. You heard it was said that they're going to stand before glory and they're going to say, I did this in your name. I did this in your name. I did this in your name. And now he said, why would their spirit come before glory, stand before me, and say, I did this in your name. I did this in your name. I did this in your name. I'm going to show you how he broke it down to me. He said, there's what they said they done, Deborah. They said, I used your power and I had your name. I was like, wait a minute, I ain't heard it like that. He said, yes, they said, in my face, Deborah, in glory, they used my power and they used my name. That's why they said it over and over in everything they wanted to say. I did this in your name. I did this in your name. I did this in your name. And he sit there and listen to them say that. And I'm like saying, but they up in front of glory. They in front of the most higher and Yeshua. What are you doing? He said, they have manipulated and deceived the people in their flesh for so long. They spirit, when it comes to stand before glory, it's trying to mimic what they flesh did in glory. He said they didn't deceive so many people on the earth in their flesh till they got so detached in their spirit that they're going to stand before glory and tell the Father, I use your power for this and your name. I use your power for this and your name. I use your power for this and your name. He said, that's how powerful the deceivers are. I'm like, they go, wait a minute. I always said they go come up and say, I did this in your name. I did this in your name. But when he started to say, Deborah, that's the power and my name. But see, they gonna been in fooled so many people on the earth for so long to where their spirits, the flesh go back to the grave, right? He said where their spirits are gonna come to glory with that same trash. And what he said he's gonna say, wait a minute, hold up, bro, hold up. I ain't never knew you. So all that time, you didn't tame your flesh and your spirit to be deceived and to be a liar and to be wicked and to be evil. Because you coming up to glory, you coming to the Father's face, and y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't get it. So what he said is, it's so powerful the way they are deceiving and brainwashing, gaslighting, manipulating the minds of the people, so powerful that same power and strength gonna come back in them. It's gonna be with them in their spirit when it come down to them standing before Yah for judgment, to where it's gonna try to run that same game to Yah himself. See, we thinking it's bad down here. To me, when you can stand before glory and tell him I use your power and your name. I use your power and your name. And bro, you know what time it is? Time for him to say heaven or the lake of fire. And you up here using that same. He wants you all to know this. The reason why he suffered that example, because he wants you to know what you are dealing with. Now, hear this well. What you are dealing with on the earth, it's going to try to buckle up back in heaven. You get it? Y'all missed that one. I know it went over your head. Because if you are like that on the earth and you have deceived that many people, and I mean, you were in there to the point your flesh dies, go to the grave. Spirit is standing before glory with the same game you had on the earth and deceived the multitude of the flesh of man. You coming back in front of glory, the Father himself, the creator of all things, and you gonna come up in him and buckle up that you had the power in the name. And what does he say? I never knew you. So what is that saying? All that role playing down here on the earth, you all, it's the same way individuals are going to try to continue that role play in their spirits when they stand before glory. Tell me that ain't deep. Tell me that ain't deep. They're going to try to do the same thing right back in the face of Yah. They got a movie named Gaslighting. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. Something like that. I think I've seen that. Yeah. Called Gaslighting. But I don't know what it was, the word for sure, but it sounded like that. I don't know. But it was what he was showing me about how they're going to come back to glory. And he said he had put the example there. And we as people, we bypass stuff like that. We don't understand that, wait a minute, you thinking you catching hell on earth. What do you think going to stand before a higher come judgment? Them spirits going to be cutting up from the floor up. Because anytime you're going to go up there and tell the power of Yah that you use his power and his name to conduct yourself on the earth, that's deeper than deep. It's time for judgment. He ain't asked you what you did. He already know your beginnings and your ends. Why are you in the front of Ahia and Yeshua telling them what you did? And what did he say? I never knew you. Now, see, the problem with that is when he said never. I never knew you. So you mean to tell me that individual who said, I did this in your name, I did this in your name, I did this in your name, 100 times 100 believe they had the power and they had the name. Now, does that make any sense? And glory already sent us a warning that what y'all think y'all going through, heaven's going to have to redo it again. Because he said to him what? Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Now, wait a minute, Father Yah. You mean you telling him to depart? He said he used your power and he used your name. You see what I'm saying, y'all? That's what they're doing down here on earth. That's how they're getting away with manipulating people and deceiving people. You see? This is how they're getting away with it and doing it successfully while the people sits in dark praising the deceivers. And they praising them for the things they doing in the flesh, y'all. They ain't praising him for the things he's doing worshiping Yah. They are praising them for the things they are doing to satisfy the flesh, to please the flesh. It makes no sense. What do you think about the two different policemen? Far from my Father. Do you see it have to be? Because he tell them, I never knew you. Then he tell them, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. As if they were Satan's crew. But Why would you think he would put that example in there? Why would you not put it, but why would you think that example was there? What is it saying? What it said to me years ago. What it said to me years ago. He said, Deborah, you sitting here talking about all the stuff that's down here on the earth. What do you think I'm going to deal with when it come down to judgment? He said, what do you think I'm going to be dealing with? That stuff coming right back to the heavens. That's why New Jerusalem coming, y'all. That's why we're going to have a new Jerusalem, a new heaven. Because he ain't going to use that same one that he has. He's going to get rid of that. And he has a new Jerusalem prepared. Because when we stand before him from judgment, if this sort of crap going back up there, I see why we need a new Jerusalem. Because it's going back up there claiming everything it was doing on the earth to be justified, clarified, identified. You know why? I'm going to tell y'all why. I'm going to tell you why this one is doing that. Because so many people on the earth praise these people. So many people on this earth praise these deceivers, these people who are deceiving them by great numbers. I'm going to tell you one way. If you are walking in the light and you're understanding spirit and truth from the Ruach, let me tell y'all what. You would know already if someone, I'm gonna give you a big helping hand right here. If someone come to you and start talking to you and they're not giving your father the glory, you don't see your father getting the praise. You don't see him getting the honor. You don't see him being recognized. And they all talking about stuff out of their mouth that has to give them their materialistic things, their pleasure in their bodies, their pleasure in their look, their pleasure in their act, everything that has to do with this body, from property, cars, homes, land, everything that is not of Yah. What did he say? Build up your treasures in the heavens where it won't rust. And other things, thieves won't come to take it. But see, when you meet people when you get on these devil platforms and these people are worshiping themselves and you don't see them giving the authority, the respect, the glory, the honor, the praise to the Most High, as if he is Alpha and Omega, and they running around want you to serve and worship them and see them to be on the pedestal. Because what has happened with YouTube and all Facebook, Twitter, and all of them, it has become a place where people who think that they are so famous because of numbers that they have, and they put numbers as fruit of the spirit. You see, they put the numbers as, hey, I'm the righteous one. I'm the one. I'm the one. And behind it is pitch dark. Behind their whole ideal of what they're doing is wicked and evil. And they're riding so high on the earth. And heaven's sitting here saying, oh, when they get up here. And soon as they get there, they go telling him, the one who holds all power. And the one who know his name. How you gonna get up there and tell him you did this in his name, you did this in his name, you did this, and he tell you he ain't never known you? So how you been using that name? And how you been using that power? Somebody need to answer that. Anybody know? How could that one be using that power? How could that one know that name? Have that name. So even the name itself is a deceiver of many. It's a deceit. He allowed the deceivers to come. And he said, wait a minute now, I ain't gonna let you just come. You need somebody you can deceive, because I'm gonna give you those that ain't of me. So you can have a whole multitude, because all of them that's standing there waiting to be deceived, they're already going through the broad gate. So I give you them. So a lot of times they thinking, since I got a great number, I got a large church, I got a large family, I got a large camp, I got a large group, I got a large organization. All that leads to a large amount of people lost without a cause. Yep, that's what he said. Vanity, vain and vax. That's what he said. That's the only thing last. There you go. And matter at judgment. That's beautiful. Now, you see how you pulled that out. That is also in the scripture, a verse for that. And if you see everything that we do for blank will last and matter at judgment. You got Christ down there. And that's the power. That's how we do it, through his power. You see? They don't know nothing about that because they think it's about their power. Because I guess when your head gets swollen, and you know, this one guy was saying, him and this white guy was talking, this black guy and this white, they were saying, why is it? The black guy was telling him, and he was saying, a lot of times they hire black people to really be hard on black people. And this black man was saying, why is it he don't know why his people, when they get a position, why do they have to, he was saying, he don't know why do they have to be so hard on their people in such a negative way. It's just showing you, anytime our people get a position, even on this devil platform, let me say that 3 times, even on this devil platform, they think that they are famous. They think they Beyonce. And Beyonce is not famous to me. Beyonce is hell-bound. Okay? So they don't grip it. They like that pleasure of being looked at in a appearing way that they could walk around here and boast and boost and brag and get high-minded and all these other things, to where their head starts swelling up. And you can just about tell it by their loud mouth, all the time saying the same thing against something that they should always and should have always supported. And I come to tell spirit and truth against loudmouth men who turn around and make the flesh of their desire the will of my Father. Use a liar, use a liar, and use a liar. Yeah, that's good. That's good. She knows it's good. It's a blessing to be able to still yet conduct yourself even around that sort of nonsense, because it's ever present. And but you know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like I think I told y'all this more than once. I ain't never had no problem. I remember this one lady. She had been there probably like 18 years at this hospital, and they had hired me as a first chef. And she's a black lady. She had been there so long. And when I came in there, you know what she said to me? She sat me down. She said, something wrong with this pay. Oh, Deborah, I don't mean nothing bad. She said, what's something wrong with this pay? This is what she said. And I'm sitting there, she said, something wrong with this pay. This is not the pay we were supposed to start you off with. I said, I won't accept nothing but that or more. She said, well, we ain't, this is what she said. We ain't gonna climb. Look what she said. She said, we ain't gonna climb no mountain if you don't accept. And I said, I ain't gonna climb there. No, I ain't gonna come down the mountain if you don't accept. It don't matter. So when she heard me say that, she looked at me, and then her boss, both of them walked in. This white lady, this black lady turned to that white lady, which was her boss, and the white lady's boss. She turned to them and said, do you see what we are paying her? This was the black manager that had been there 18 years. She said, she asked the white people, do y'all see what we are paying her? And I was trying to explain to her, I don't see how they end up paying her this, and the starting pay is this. You know what the white people said? First, her boss said, Marvel, do you see this lady's resume? And her boss, which was Bill, he's a white man, he said, furthermore, you ain't looked at her resume because we can't pay her the starting pay. Oh, when she saw that they the one arranged that, you should have seen her come down. She said, I like you. That's what she said to me before I went out there. Went out. I like you. And I looked at her like she was silly. I don't smile at nobody when I'm out there. I don't go to no job grinning and laughing and joking, male nor female. I come in there to do a job, and I'm there to do it and get out. I don't want to come here and be your friend. I don't want to know nothing you doing and how you doing it and the way you're doing it. Show me the way you want me to do it here and get away from me. And that's how I go in. That's how I've always, my whole life. Had I known, I didn't know this, that the Father had a hedge around me. That's why ain't nobody bothered me. I never knew that until I was 58 years old. And he told me, I had a hedge around you. I was like, I was wondering what was going on because nobody bothered me. When I worked for Chrysler minivan, I get on there and it's a lot of men in there. Shoot. If they weren't asking me for advice, they was respected. I don't agree with you and I don't play with you. And don't come around me talking anything stupid, male or female. And people learn that this is the type of lady just going to tell you straight out. I remember coming out of that place because we get off like at 3 a.m. And I have had several times where people was waiting outside for me. Wait a minute. Males and females, this has happened to me. It happened about 7 times the whole time I was working there. And they wanted to know, what was that you were saying in there? That was really, I had never heard that before. This one lady, she said, well, see, Deborah, you said something else. Now I'm going to go home and ain't going to be able to sleep. I said, baby, I wasn't saying nothing for you not to sleep. And she was old enough to be my mama, talking about she ain't going to sleep because of something I said. That's good. That's good. And that's what we all need, that peace. I'm telling you. Why? Yeah. I just think it's a part in us that's just ugly. And we ain't recognized it. But in that ugliness, we blame everybody else for being ugly toward us and ain't realize, that we some ugly people. Because you know what? Today I'm going to tell y'all something that dawned on me. And I never looked at it this hard. If we are the ones that he chose as a people for his heart, it would only have to be those he branded. Because if you think, if he chose us, look how wrong we've been doing them, y'all. For thousands of years, we have not obeyed him. Did y'all know that? We never obeyed him. We never did what he told us. We always did the opposite of what he said. So he had been turmoiling with us all these years. And we wake up, we still today and call ourselves awakened. To what? Do you know how ugly you were yesterday? It's an identity. It'll show you how ugly you are today. But they don't grip that because they're so busy blaming others for their ugliness and the way they treat each other. They don't see that they treat each other real bad, child. They think it's the white man and the heathens and the Gentiles. But what about when you go out and kill your people and degrade your women and kill your babies and your mama and your dad and out there killing your brothers? But yet, in you, everybody else is wrong. No unity of even, it's not even have y'all had or seen or heard a voice in the land that says, let's us brothers stop what we doing, stop what we saying, stop how we acting, stop. You won't be able to hear not one. Yeah. And he said that throughout the Bible. We need to look at ourselves and see, do y'all see what you're doing? And then when Isaiah come up saying all that stuff, I'm like, then when Ezekiel, I'm like, then when Jeremiah, I'm like, you mean all this time you've been on us all this time? And here we are, no different than we were when we started off. I mean, and it just doesn't make any sense. So let's go to Matthew's chapter 4. Matthew's chapter 4. And we're going to start with verse 1. In Matthew's chapter 4, verse 1, and it reads, then was Yeshua led up of the Spirit. You see that Spirit? Where it says Yeshua was led up of the Spirit. You see that Spirit? He was the Son of Man, born of a woman, that also had a spirit like you and I. So let me kind of do that a little different. That's you going up to the mountain. That's how he went up to the mountain. You get what I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yeshua went up to the mountain like you and I. Okay? And this is what it's want to show you. The things which are spiritual is only the right way. Because the Spirit teaches the flesh how to do the things that pleases Yah. But if we forsaken the Spirit and we continue to think that it's about how we want to line things up in our flesh, then we have no way to the New Jerusalem. It's no way we're going to enter in. It can't rumble the way we say it is in this flesh. We got to be able to know the Spirit. So in Matthew chapter 4, verse 1, then when Yeshua led up of the Spirit. Now he was led up of the Spirit. Okay? His spirit and him as a man in the flesh was led up into the wilderness to be tempted by who? The devil. Why was he doing that? And why are you going up there? For you and I. He didn't have to go up there. That didn't happen. What he's doing is showing you how it's done, how it's going to happen to you too, and how it's going to really be in your life. So I'm going to go up there to be an example for you all. See, this is what, I'm going to show you how deep this is. Now, I know I shouldn't have went there, but I'm going to go there, and I'm going to lose y'all. I'm going to lose every last one of y'all here now. Now, somebody like me, silly Deborah, I'm up in the wilderness raising my hand. I'm in class now. Father Yah, wait a minute. Father Yah, Yeshua is going up. He's going and he's being led up to the mountain. So he was led up to the mountain, up of the mountain. Wait a minute. Then was Yeshua led up of the Spirit. His Spirit led him up into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Now, he's getting ready to go up there just for you and I, to show us that we too are going to go up many mountains in our lives. And we can vouch for it today. We done went up so many mountains, y'all. That devil done took us up some mountains. You hear me? So Yeshua is saying, oh, hold up, Deborah, hold up. I'm not going up there for myself. So tell them that if you're going to give them this example, they're going to miss it if they don't get it. So what happened? I'm again. Yeshua was led up of the Spirit. Why? Because his spirit, his flesh, led him up into the wilderness to be tempted by Satan, by the devil. He's going up without the power, okay, without the word, and without the Spirit. The Father wants you to see the mystery so that you too can connect yourself to Yeshua going up only in the flesh. Now, see, that's why I say it's going to go over your head. You ain't going to get this one. Not this one tonight. Then was Yeshua led up of the Spirit. You see the lowercase spirit? Because he was born of a woman and born flesh, son of man. He also had a spirit like you and I. You and I have a spirit, which is the image of Yah. He's a spirit. So he gave us a spirit like his image, a spirit. Okay? Yeshua is going up there alone. And he's trying to let you understand. I'm not going up there with the power, Deborah. Tell him. I'm not going up there with the word of Yah. I'm going up there, and I'm not going up there with the spirit of his ruach. I'm going to the mountain, Deborah, as a flesh like you, Deborah, and everybody else. So you all know, you too shall go to the mountain. And we have. In so many ways have we been to that mountain. We done been to that mountain so many ways, we don't even know. That was the same reason Yeshua went in the flesh up to the mountain. To do what? Into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Now watch this here. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards hungry. He was hungry. Why was he hungry? Deborah, tell him again. He didn't have the word. He didn't have the power. And he didn't have the spirit of Yah. He was going up there like you and I, flesh, to show us that we too shall go up many mountains in life. Listen to what happened. Here you see, he fasted. Why is Yeshua fasting? Why is Yeshua out here in the wilderness fasting? Let me tell you why he fasting. Because his flesh finna go up into some trouble. And he need to. Get that flesh ready. His flesh was going up to the mountain. So he had to fast 40 days and 40 nights. And after that fast, he was really hungry. But what he was doing, what was he doing? Turning away from the flesh. Not giving flesh food. Not giving flesh what it wants, what it desires, what it wills. So he turned down food and he fasted to do what? To shut that flesh down. Because when you go up to mountains in life, you're going to have to shut that flesh down. And that's what he was doing. He was shutting his flesh down. He was practicing, preparing himself. But when he go on this mountain, he can stand. But I love the way he had the ability to do it. Let's go. Verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Yah. What is he saying? Anybody in the live chat? I know I'm going to lose you out here. I'm going to totally lose you. Denying the flesh. Perfect. Denying the flesh. There you go. Causing his was flesh. Cause his flesh. That's right. Now, let me ask you something else. Listen to this here. And in verse 3, and when the tempter came to him, he said, this is what Satan said, if thou be the son of Yah, what is he saying? That's it. If you be the power. Hallelujah. What is he tempting? He's tempting the flesh to see if the flesh had the power. Because why? Satan knew, if you got the power, I don't need to waste my time with you. I can't do nothing with you. Praise the mighty y'all. So Satan said, wait a minute now, let me check you out. See, he didn't say to Yeshua, he didn't say, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of Man. No, because Satan know. See, Satan know who the power of Yah is. He knew that Yeshua was coming to be the sacrifice. And when the process is he coming, he didn't know what all Ahadi was sending him down with. So he figured, wait a minute, I'm going to check this out first and see if I got a chance. This is what he said. See, they got it wrong in the churches and everywhere the teacher, they got it wrong. They got it wrong. They had it wrong. They still got it wrong. Watch this here. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of Yah. What you mean if he be? What you mean? See, there's a difference from Yeshua and the Son of Yah. You see, and Satan knows there's a difference. But he want to make sure before I go through this with you, or you the Son of God, or you the Son of Yah, because if so, I'm going to stand down. It's like Job it's like Satan told Yah about Job. Now, I ain't finna mess with Job. You ain't had no hedge around him for nothing. You think I'm going after Job and I'll be in the lake of fire quicker than I expected? Oh, no. I ain't finna mess with Job, but I tell you what, put that right hand on. Stretch that right hand out and lay that hand on Job. And I go after Job then. But until you put that right hand on him, I ain't going after Job and be in the lake of fire for eternal. I ain't finna go there. Satan said, I know who you are. I know that power in your right hand. But if you touch him with that right hand, then I get him. And this is what is happening here. Satan is asking Yeshua, do you have the power with you? Praise the mighty God. So the tempter asked him, if thou be the Son of Yah, that means, do you have the power with you? Because if you don't, and see, he watch this here. And he started off, he said, if thou be the Son of Yah, meaning if thou be the power, he's asking him to use the power. Command those stones to be made bread. Hallelujah. Ooh, that's dangerous. Ooh, that is so dangerous. Because Yeshua was going up to be tempted. Satan knew he was on a fast. So here in 3, the tempter came and he said, if I be the power, I want you to command them, these stones. No, he said, if I be the Son of Yah, which is the power, command that these stones be made bread. See that? The Son of Yah is the power, y'all. All these millions of years, no one knew that. They didn't know that the Son of Yah, which is Christ, which is Hamashiach, is the power of the Father's right hand. Satan sitting here telling you Yeshua was the Son of Man, but the Father's power was the Son of Yah. You see? And Satan up here asking him, if you are the power, which is the Son of Yah, let me see you turn that bread, what he say, them stones, make him out of bread. That's what he was saying to Yeshua. Why? Because Yeshua up there to represent us in the flesh. He said, y'all, I come down here to show y'all how it's done. Satan gonna tempt you to do things. He's tempting me right now on the mountain. But he's not sure if I have the power or not. But he knows that I've been fasting. And I don't need to fast if the power is in me. You don't need to fast if the Ruach is in you. You don't need to fast if the Ruach is in you. That's the power. You see? So he's saying to him that if you the power, command, this is verse 3, command that these stones be made bread. So he was testing him to find out, was the Son of Yah with him while he was on that mountain? He wasn't, but he was testing him by telling him, turn them stones into bread. See, he didn't know if he had the Son of Yah with him. He didn't have the Son of Yah because he can't go up to the mountain with the Son of Yah, which is the power and represent us. He had to go like us, flesh and blood. And that's the way he went up there. Now watch this here. Verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written. He said, it is written. Where is it written? In the heavens, before the foundation of the world. He already let him know. The Most High had already schooled me. It's already written in the heavens. Man shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. You see? He's telling him what heaven had already had written. Woo! See, he couldn't come down here and get up under a pastor and a leader. Ahia had schooled Yeshua before he got down here. Before the foundation of the world, he had schooled him. When you get down there, you're going to go through this. That's why in verse 1, it said, led up. That was a part of the plan. You're going to be led up to the mountain. Because the people have to see that you showing them how it can be done in the flesh. You see? So he gets up there in verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written. Where is it written? Where is it written? And you was the first one come down here to say that, Yeshua. Deborah is in heaven. Heaven already wrote it up for me. It's wrote up for y'all too. What is it? Man should not live on bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. And you know what? Every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah, it's not this book. It's not no Bible. It's not no Torah. It is not no New Testament, no Old Testament. It is not no King James 16:11. The word of Yah is spirit and it is truth. It is not what they have deceived many that it is. That's why people can't use the power that rests down in them. It's because they got it messed up from before. What does Yeshua say? It is written, Deborah. Tell him that it is written. What do you mean, Yeshua? Tell him again. It is written in the heaven. Already. Before heaven and earth was even present. It is written in heaven. What? Man shall not live on bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. And if you think for 1 minute this book can be my Father's word, you's a liar and the truth ain't in you. It is inspired by his finger, but it is not who he is. Because before it was this book, he was. Now, he's saying it proceed out of the mouth of Yah. So we have to understand that you don't take what these men said. This is just like Satan that tempting Yeshua on the mountain. You believe what I say. Polygamy is righteous. We can do this and we can do this. Submit yourself to a man. Do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. Shut up and don't exceed over a man. All this sick mess for the flesh. Tell me how to serve my Father. How about that? How about that? Are you going to tell me how I worship him? Where is that narrow gate? Tell me about spirit and truth in which the Father embedded in us when he's teaching us. Show me where the light is. He said, you are a light that cannot be hidden. Where is that light? Can you show me? No, they can't. Because they're so busy teaching you flesh and blood. And this example, Yeshua is telling them, oh, I might not have the Son of Yah with me, which is the power. But I come here in the flesh for the people. So they too can understand. I don't live on the things that feeds my body. Hallelujah. So when you out there and got pastors, leaders, ministers, prophetess, Maureen Seals, and watchmen, apostles, and all these people out here claiming position, kick rocks along with Sister Deborah. You want to live on the word and by the word of God. Why? Because it is written. It's in heaven. So what make us think we come down here and it got to be about us in the flesh? We got to take that away, you all, and understand it's always been spirit and it's always been truth. Okay? So I like that. And he says, proceed out of the mouth of Yah, because Yah is a spirit. Now, how can his word be a book if he is a spirit? It is inspired. It connects to what he is because he took his finger and signified something. But it's not who he is. Because if he thought for 1 minute that this book can give you what you need, guess what? What reason would it be for the Ruach HaKodesh to come? Yeshua could have sacrificed for our sins and kept it going. Why do we need the Holy Spirit? We need the Holy Spirit because it's supposed to be coming to teach us all things. Why didn't he say, let man teach you? He's telling you, it is written. Every word that proceeds out of a spiritual God and not a fleshly man. You see? Not a fleshly woman. Seek ye the face of Yah, he said, and all shall be added. Meaning I send you in the direction to someone that's going to be speaking to you while I'm teaching you. But don't go to them and think they're going to give you what you need and you can run to me. No. In verse 5, then the devil taking him up into a high city and set him on a pedestal of the temple. Wait a minute, of the temple. Now see, the temple reminds me of a building, a church, trying to make him think, that I'm going to bring you a little higher up on something. I'm going to take you here. Let's see what he's going to offer. And verse 6, and said unto him, if thou be the son of Yah. Satan up there working that power, y'all. Satan up there trying to find out, wait a minute. Satan up there really trying to figure out. Now see why we always taught it totally different. The Father said in the last days, that which is in the dark, Deborah, is going to come to light. Because he's going to bring it to light in his people. Okay, now watch this here. Now he's sitting here, he took him higher, okay? And he took him and put him and taking him up into a holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple. Now, why you got him up there? Now, watch this here. And said unto him, if thou be the son of Yah. You messed up on the floor. When you don't know who the son of Yah is, the Father told me to tell you all every chance I get. If you miss Genesis 1 and 2, and you didn't know when he said, let us, he was talking to his power, which is us. Make man in our image, who was present when he said, let, that right hand brought it forth. So we missed him long time ago. He said, if you missed him then, you're going to miss him now. Because we never, you remember what he said? He said, denying the power therein. We have denied the power all the way up to the 200 to 2023 and still don't know the power exists. Yeshua is telling you right here. And the Satan is saying the same thing. I want to know if he got the power. I want to know if he got the power. You know why he said that? He know he can't. He know he ain't got no business near the power or tempting the power. So he knew if he's able to tempt him, he can get him to do something because he don't have the power. But that's why he had to fast 40 days and 40 nights to get that flesh ready. You see? Now watch this here. Verse 6, and said unto him, if thou be the son of Yah, which is the power, cast thyself down, for it is written. Now look at him. Look at him. Saying it is written. Where is it written? Where is it written? You don't know what's written in the heavens. Look at Satan. he copycat Yeshua. He saying, if thou be the son of Yah, which is the power, cast thyself down, For it is written, Satan, that's a character. He don't know what is written in the heaven. He said, it is written. Do y'all see the lie? Now watch this here. It is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest anytime thou dash thy foot against a stone. Now, Yeshua is going up there in the flesh like you and I. You see how he deceiving the flesh of man. He ain't deceiving the son of Yah. He's deceiving the flesh of man. How you showing us we too going to be tempted by Satan like that. He even would use the same words you use to try to counteract, to get you to do what he wants. That's what you see in the pastors, the bishops, the priests, the apostles, the teachers, the prophets, the evangelists, the Morees, the seer. They'll say anything to get you to follow them. They don't care if it's spirit and truth in it. They don't care if it ain't no light in it. It's all about follow me. This is what Satan telling him. This is what he's telling him. And he said unto him in verse 6, if thou be the son of Yah, which is the power, cast thyself down. What is that, Yah? Who in the live chat know what that means? Cast thyself down. Anybody know what that means? And you know, all of us had that thought. Some of us tried it. Suicide. He was trying to get him to commit suicide. When he telling him to cast himself down, it was suicide. He's trying to get him to do suicide. And the father said, devil, they need it. He said, this is what they need. Because in their life, the devil going to always be trying to tell you ways to end your life or tell you to end your life. Suicide going to be a thought every human being is going to think at one time or feel. How you like him now. He prepared our tales real good. So he said, verse 6, and he said to him to cast yourself down. Now, who gonna be up on letting you lead them up into the mountain just to jump down and kill themselves? You see the deceiver? Oh, don't worry about it. It is written. Where is that written? What he talking about ain't written, but this is how the men use this book. Oh, it's written in here. It says a woman to submit. It says that they had men back then. You all, there's a fool, there's a fool, and there's a fool. But that's none of what they're saying. It's every word that proceed out of the mouth of God. Now I'm going to shut y'all down real quick. Yeshua went up on that mountain for us. And he just told you, you ain't going, you don't live on what come out of the mouth of man, but every word that proceed out of the mouth of God. That's what he's talking about. Because what happened after that? Satan came and said things and continued to say things out of his mouth. But it is written in the heavens. You all, it ain't about what these men and women are out here saying. It ain't about what Sister Deborah is saying. If she ain't speaking spirit and truth, and she ain't speaking some light into your spirit to give you food for your spirit, kick her tail to the curb. We don't want to hear about her. If she ain't praising and giving him the honor, the glory, and the respect, kick her tail 4 deep to the curb. So here we are in verse 6, Matthew chapter 4 and verse 6. He's letting you know that Satan going to come and he's going to tempt you to end your life and make you feel like ending your life. Now, verse 7, Yeshua said unto him, no, it ain't written the way you said it. Verse 7, Yeshua said to him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Who is he talking about? Him. It is written that he is not allowed to get down on this earth. It is written. Yeshua, where is it written? Tell these people where it's written because they don't get it. Yeshua said, verse 7, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy Yah. He's letting him know, I am not coming down here to tempt I'm dealing with you. Because it's written in heaven before I got my tail down here to don't tempt him. So what would I look like tempting him? See, Ahiah had prepared him from heaven. That's why he said it is written. It is written in heaven already. My mission was already wrote up and wrote out. What are you talking about, Satan? And I already been told about you. And I already been told I better not tempt y'all. You see? And I already been told that I don't live on what man's mouth and bread alone. I live on every word that proceeded out of my Father. No. Okay. Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all kingdom of the world and the glory of them. That's what the people on this devil platform think they are. They think they're up high, y'all. These people think they so high. They think they're so high and mighty. They think they so famous up on that mountain. No, up on the mountain. That's what they think. They up on high. That's why they can't speak spirit and truth. They show you can't even be the light. They have no ruach in them of the Most High, Ahiah. That's why they teaching you the stuff that they teaching you. Because they are the deceivers that were sent down here to deceive. But they got the wrong one when it come upon Sister Deborah. I'm sorry. It is written that I don't live on bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of my Ahiah. And I thank him for that. I thank him for his brand. Oh, I thank him. Okay. And verse 8 says, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdom of the world and the glory of them. That's when you see all these so-called famous people, as they say, a lot of them is demonized. So a lot of them, they up on high mountains, y'all. They done sold they self to the devil. Why? Because they went up high and they took what he had to offer them. Okay? That is the same way it is on these platforms. These people getting likes. They're going up high. They get more and more likes. They get more and more subscribers. Where are they going? Up higher. Higher in what? Numbers. That's the mountain. They're going up. And the more they go up, the sick their minds become. Their heads begin to get swollen. They begin to speak the world. They begin to think the world. They begin to act the world. They begin to portray the world because the world is in them. And that's the way they want to teach you all. It's nothing we do in our flesh that worship and serve our Yah. It's nothing we do in our flesh. He said, you can't worship me in that flesh. You got to worship me in the end that I am, which is a spirit. So you got to worship me in your spirit, not in your flesh. Don't come bring your flesh up on me. He means that, you guys. Okay, so here it is, Satan telling him to come up a little higher. And what that is to gain money, fame. And you know the biggest fame is the mind. The mind is their biggest fame. Because in their mind, it tells them that they somebody. They up here and you down here. They know this and you don't know that. You got to do it this way, this way, this way, this way, and how I said, the way I said it, and the way I like it, and the way I want it. And then what you start to live every word that proceeded out of the mouth of a man, then every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. How is the word going to proceed out of the mouth of Yah, y'all? Anybody in the live chat? No. How is that word going to proceed out of the mouth of Yah to you? Get with the program through your spirit. He's teaching you from the inside out so you can tame this nasty flesh to get in order, to get under the subjection to the spirit that's in you. That's how he's going to teach you. So when people come and tell you how you're supposed to look on this outside, you tell them to kick rocks. Let the Father that's in me teach me, mold me, and shape me from the inside on who I should be on the outside. Not the mouth of an ugly man and an ugly woman telling you, you got to do this. It's no end to it. It's no end. Okay. And then when it gets to the point, you go out and walk your dog. Oh, you can't walk dogs because it ain't in the Bible. You're not supposed to have a dog. They are flesh eaters, blood lickers. Okay, you get rid of your dog. All of a sudden now, you want to go to different stores. No, you can't. You got to go to this kind of store because they represent a different religion and a different belief. So don't go into their stores. You got to find stores that believe in what we believe in. This is how deep it gets. I'm serious, you guys. These people can take your whole life. Now, what's wrong with a person? We'll use me. What's wrong with a person with Sister Deborah allowing someone to control my whole life? What's wrong with that? First of all, the one that's controlling is like unto me. When Ahia looks down, he see us as flesh. And he see the spirit in which he has given us in the image in us. You see what I'm saying? And when he see us as them. Them what? That I've given my spirit, the breath of life in them, and my image, which is my spirit. Now, how is it Sister Deborah going to have to stand before judgment to be judged based on only how I was controlled by another flesh? It doesn't make sense, do it? If I have to be submissive and in full control of a man, and I'm not supposed to speak, I'm not supposed to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way, I'm supposed to be at home, either laying in the bed, on my back, having children, cleaning up. Why is it when he created woman, he didn't say that? Because out of the mouth of man, that's what Yeshua was saying. It is written, not out of the mouth or what we take in our mouth, bread. And the bread represents many of things. But what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. So here it is. Now Deborah has to stand before judgment to see if she got a heaven or hell. Do you think the Father gonna say, okay, you didn't submit yourself to your husband, then you go into the lake of fire? And then you can turn around and ask the Father, I said, wait a minute now. So do I submit to the flesh or do I submit to the spirit? Then you got it. You see? Because flesh can't enter the kingdom of heaven. So why am I being judged based on how I'm supposed to submit to another flesh? You submitting to fleshes that has, you all don't even know, real bad histories of doing things, y'all. Women too. I ain't gonna lie about it. Real bad histories. Say, for instance, Sister Deborah's married. She married a man that had children already. And here it is. He been on drugs before. He been on alcohol. You know, he's done very terrible things. And now he married me and I got to submit to that. What am I submitting to? The ways of his flesh. Ain't no spirit and truth in him. Wait a minute. He ain't submitted to my Father. I got to see, use my discerning spirit to discern. And I got to do what the Father told Sister Deborah to do. You better try that spirit by the spirit. See, that's what the women don't understand. Y'all submitting y'allself to all type of demonic spirits. Men that's dealing with all kind of demonic spirits. Same thing with men. They trying, now listen to this. They trying to get women to be submissive to them. Baby, you don't know what that woman or what that woman's life been like since she was a little girl. And you're trying to get that to be submissive to you? See, the both of them should be trying to submit themselves before the Most High Ahia. First and foremost, before they even get married. We need to submit ourselves to him. And then after we submit ourselves to him, then that's when we'll see how the both of us can communicate with each other. Because what we submit to him in the fullness, then he will come down and live in us and show us how to get along, how to be together, how to care for each other, and how to do for each other. A woman is to do this, a man is to do that. You don't have no a woman don't have no reason not to let her husband be the head if he has let the father be his head. Do y'all think? I wouldn't want to be wanting a woman submissive to me. If I don't care if she is a virgin. Satan don't give a rat's behind if you're a virgin or not, because he know what you was doing from the beginning. You see? So therefore, it ain't got nothing to do with that. You don't know what's on a virgin could have had a father that was a pedophile, that was an alcoholic. Do y'all know that stuff goes on down? A lot of them don't want to believe that, but it does. So you ain't getting no virgin like innocent. You need to shut your mouth. Submit yourself to the Most High or higher first, and walk upright in here. Seek his face, and then come back. Show that woman that you can be submissive to a higher before you trying to get her to be submissive to your nasty flesh. Okay? Now, Yeshua was saying here in verse 7, he said, Yeshua said unto him, it is written. I love when he said that again. He said, it is written again, where in the heavens, thou shalt not tempt thy Lord, thy God. And so I'm letting you know, Satan, it's in the heavens, already signed. You better not submit yourself. You better not tempt thy Lord, thy Yah. It's already been so said. Now watch this here. Verse 8. And again, he takes him up into an exceedingly mountain, because that's what he's doing to when a lot of people be seeing these famous Kanye West and Beyonce, and not just them. I'm just saying them as far as in the same nation. Them, even the heathens and Gentiles, they doing the same thing. Ain't none of them doing nothing no different. It's just that when our people get involved in something, they go all the way. They easy. It's like they're easy to be manipulated to do things that they didn't come up in, nor did they desire it. But for the name of a dollar, and it don't even have to be a dollar. All it has to do is be a white person. They got some. Okay? And verse 9, and said unto him, this is what Satan said unto Yeshua, all these things I will give thee if thou will fall down and worship me. All these things I give you if you will fall down and worship me. Do you think for 1 minute, let me tell y'all why I know I miss y'all. I know y'all didn't get it. You're going to sit here and ask Yeshua and say, all these things I will give thee if thou will fall down and worship me. If you think for 1 minute the Son of Yah was up on that mountain with Yeshua, and Satan tell him to worship him, Satan would have been dead that day, right then and there. He would have been dead. That shows you that the Father went on the mountain with Yeshua. He was up there in flesh. Satan know not to talk to y'all like that. He ain't crazy. He ain't crazy. He's talking to Yeshua. He realized that the power wasn't up there with Yeshua. He's asking Yeshua. He said, and said, I give you all of this. How can you give him? See, he now know that Yeshua is up there in the flesh. So he's telling him, I give you all of this. Why? Because the flesh wants everything. Everything in the flesh. And that's what he was offering him. That's how these people are on the YouTube and all these platforms. That's how they are. That's their mindset. Now here go. Satan said in verse 9, and he said unto him, all these things I give thee if thou will fall down and worship me. You think Satan can get away with telling that to the Most High, y'all? Come on now, y'all. Somebody talk to me. He wouldn't be able to live that day. Satan wouldn't have been able to make it that day, y'all. That would have ended right there. Hell would have closed his gates on any and everybody if he had to talk to the Most High or higher like that. So he was talking to the what? The flesh. That was the Son of Man on the mountain he was talking to, tempting. So then Yeshua said unto him, Get thee hence, Satan. For it is written, praise the Most High Yah. So you all, that's what Yeshua is saying. It is written already in heaven. Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah is what you live. You don't listen to every word that proceeds out of the mouth of man, because he can be Satan bound and flesh bound. But every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. If Yah say you can't worship him in your flesh, then you know that the relationship with him and the words that he says out of his mouth got to hit you where? In your spirit and not in your flesh. Okay. So then Yeshua said in verse 10, then said Yeshua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt not worship the Lord, thou shalt worship the Lord God, and him only shall thou serve. And what happened? Verse 11, then the devil leave him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. Why is the angels coming to minister to Yeshua? Because he didn't have the Father up there with him. He was up there in the flesh. So they came to minister and encourage him that he did a good job. That's why. That's why the angels. Look at verse 11. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. See, right here today, y'all, let me say this here. 99.1 billion didn't know that Yeshua was on that mountain as the flesh, in the flesh, on that mountain as the Son of Man. Okay? He had a mission, and he kept telling Satan, it is written, meaning I ain't going to listen to you. It's already in heaven. Heaven already gave me my mission. Heaven already gave me my mission. It's already written in heaven what I'm supposed to do. So you coming down here thinking you're going to tip me, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And this is what he needed to do what? Who in the live chat can tell me why was it necessary that Yeshua go onto the mountain? And you notice when he came down, the angels hooked to him and started ministering to him, you know, encouraging his flesh that he did a good job. He withstand the mission in which Ahia had sent him on, that he would go to the mountain and be led just to be tempted by who? Satan himself. But the Satan didn't know the ropes. He had to check and see. Wait a minute, let me find out he got that power. I ain't finna mess with him if he ain't got that power. I ain't finna mess with him if he got the power. If he the son of Yah, I ain't going down there messing with him. So he wanted to make sure before he go after him that he didn't have the power. He wasn't sure the first time and not quite sure the second. But after that, then he felt comfortable. He began to tell Yeshua, come on here, bow down to me. So one thing I want to say to you, and what that is actually saying to you, when you worship spirit and truth, and you worship the Most Higher, you learn to hear his voice from the inside. Okay? You learn to hear him from the inside out. Once you learn to hear him and you hear his voice, then he teaches you from that level. Things that you don't know how to do, you might not know how to pray. You might not know how to communicate with him. You might not know how to get along with your enemy. You might not know how to repent. You might not know how to care for people who don't care for you. You might not know how to do right to somebody who don't do right to you. But guess what? Greater is he that is in thee, that is in than the world. The world ain't got nothing on the victory that rests within you. It can teach you, but it ain't go battle with you from the inside. It wants you to feel him being all that and some. Hallelujah. You got to feel him to be that. Oh, I know what you are, and I know who you are. Let him know you know who he is. You let him know you know what he is, he was, and he's going to be. See, we don't want to give him all power. We want to give him all glory. We don't want to give him all praise. We don't want to see him perfect and perfect. We don't want to see him excellent than excellent, wonderful than wonderful, greater than greater. We don't want to see him like that. We want to see him like a man so we can deal with him. You can't deal with him like that if he's in you. You got to see him before you see that nasty man. You got to see him before you see that nasty woman. And greater in you is he that is in the world. He letting you know, let's start from the inside out. Let me abide in you and teach you all things so you can go and sit at the Baptist church and hear every word they say, and you can eat the meat and spit out the bone and still go and witness to somebody. See, it ain't word. See, it's not what you see. and believe. It's what you don't see, but yet believe. That'll take you a many places. That's why nothing didn't stop Yeshua from going anywhere, because it's not what you see, it's what you don't see is what you got to hold on to. And that is greater than anything in this world. You want to drink? You want to drink? You tell that it's greater in you. I don't know how to kick the habit. I don't know how to stop this and how to stop this, but greater is you that was said to be in me than he that is in the world. All things are possible through you. People don't even understand. They run around here talking about commandments, Torah, and all this crap. Let me tell you something. How can all that override him that is greater in you? Well, he already let you know, if I'm in you, I'm greater than anything in the world. What they talking about? What they talking about? So why are you trying to tame me on the outside and he working the thing in me from the inside? What? That's a battle in itself. He said the flesh fight against the spirit. And that's what men and women are doing today. They're teaching you to go up against the spiritual realm that's in you. I'm so glad he said. I'm so glad he said. I'm so glad he said. Revelation. Go down there and tell those angels, all four. Don't mess with that seed. Don't mess with the trees and the grass until you have marked mine in the forehead. Because I want the trees to know mine. I want everything that can happen. That, look here. Look what he said. He's telling them to mark mine so the world will know who's mine. You see? He know who we are. But no, hold up. Angels, don't y'all touch that seed. Don't touch the grass. Don't touch the earth. Don't touch nothing until you mark mine. Because if that earth touch mine that's marked, the whole earth is in trouble. And they know it. The grass know it's in trouble if you mess with the one that's marked. The trees know it's in trouble if it fall on the ones that's marked. The seed know it can't take no more deads that's marked. Yeah, there's a lot of dead in there that's going to rise, but you ain't going to mess with them ones that's marked. So that's why Satan is working through men and women so hard to deceive you from the outside so you won't be able to identify who you are on the inside. But the Father said, Deborah, whether they don't know who they are or not, they're going to find out. Because that's what hour we're in, and we running up on minutes. And they out there acting a fool trying to control you on the outer man. And the higher has worked his work in you from the inner man. You tell them people to kick rocks and go somewhere and sit down. Speak spirit and truth toward anybody you go to and you get in front of. You'll start to see when you start speaking spirit and truth, the light of who you are. People be walking around looking at you trying to figure out, who is you? You know, who? You'll see people saying, looking all mean, turn around and look at you and start smiling. That's that greater one that's in you. They have set you up to be the light in the world. They're set up on a hill that cannot be hidden. So when he telling the angels in Revelation, he told this one angel, you go down there and you tell them four angels that's on the four corners, don't they better not mess with nothing until you mark mine. Because he's telling them, I want you to mark them. Well, the world know. You better stand down. You better not mess with mine. And you think the sea will dry up before it mess with one of y'all's marked ones. The trees will die from the root before it would mess with one of the most high's marked one. Anything that come up on you round about now, they already dead and they gonna die because y'all got his marked. So how you like them now? How you like them now? So here you are, marked from the inside out, but you got people in camps, church, communities, houses, on these devil platforms, everywhere telling you what you should supposed to be doing. Wait a minute. How can he be greater in me, but I'm following what you say? It don't make sense, y'all. He can't be greater in you and you doing everything Sister Deborah say if Sister Deborah is telling you to do things that don't give him the glory, don't give him the praise, don't give him the honor. No, no. If he hasn't said it, even in the word, no. Like Sister Deborah got GoFundMe on there. The Father said this 4 times. He that give unto mine, even a cold drink, my prophet receive a prophet reward. So how you telling you that's in there 4 times? So how you telling you you have the ability to be blessed? So Sister Deborah ain't getting rich on no GoFundMe. You know what? Because let me tell you what I did. I was in the car and I told my kids, Father, I don't know what's going on with these kids because they act like money ain't nothing. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them, y'all. I can't even pinpoint it. I wonder, is they that slow? But maybe they just, and I said to him, maybe I just took care of them so well that when they have money, they don't know what to do with it and they could care less. And I'm like saying, that's crazy. That's crazy. My youngest daughter get paid every week. She brings home close to $700 a week working at a beauty supply house. She wasn't mad at me. I said, go somewhere, present yourself, and ask. They hired. The first place she went to, they hired her right off. They're career. I think I'm saying that right. And she loves career. She taught herself how to speak it, y'all. She been booking her travel to go. She got a passport and all that. She's going over to what's that? Korean. She loves it. Her male friend is half Korean and half black. Ain't that crazy? This girl is just. But when I looked in the car and I said, "Why is all this? This is a check, coffee and stuff." She loses her check. Nothing means anything to her. Nothing. And I pray, I do hope, Father, it is not the way I brought them up, back letting them know it's okay to be comfortable in life. They're not the type that goes and buy expensive things. They don't buy expensive things. They really don't. They don't go out and, I don't know, they just don't, money, they don't have to me, the sense of the value of money at all. It don't mean nothing to them. So I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna do no study because ain't no book gonna tell me what Ahaya done gave me. And then that book, I'm trying to figure it out through their books. No, but it's something really deep because I was talking to their father. I was like, and he was like, I noticed that too. And let me say, they be having money. Because my son, I washed his clothes. And one pair of his pants had $168 in it. And I'm like, I'm keeping this. This is mine. You don't care about it? It's mine. So when I did go back over there to see him, I say, you had 168 in the pocket when I washed the clothes. And you ain't getting it. He said, I don't care. I don't want it no way. I didn't even know I had it in there. I'm like, these people are, it's just something strange is going on, you guys. It is something off the chain. Because like my daughter is just no value to nothing. They won't save, but they ain't buying nothing. They ain't doing nothing. They don't care if they lose their money. They don't care if they lose their card, their debit card or whatever. They don't care. It's no, wait a minute. I lost my check. Or, I'm like, be trying to figure out what is wrong with these kids today. I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay, y'all, we got 15 minutes for questions. So anything you would like to say or anything we would like, it's all your time. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna answer questions. I'm gonna sit and listen to you all. So even if you have to ask each other questions, yeah, career, and that's how it's played. But yeah, she's going, y'all. She's going. She do. Your daughter? You gotta be kidding. Well, maybe she can hook up with China. Y'all let them go. Keep praying for them. Just let them. They don't value it. I don't know why. Is it me? Probably is. Because I think that's what my mother said about me. She used to try to figure out how could you have so many kids and go into the store and don't care what anything costs. I can go and get them some shoes. I can go and get them groceries, whatever. I don't look at prices, y'all. That's how it used to be. I do now as I gotten really old, really, really old and dried up. But I don't really look at prices. I didn't. I do now, but I didn't. And that's what my mom used to stay on with me when I was even a young person. When you go out to buy something, booby, look at the prices, get something reasonable. You don't have to just get. So maybe I played a little role in that. I said, recent showed me, recent. I showed my teacher me how to love you. Teachers showed me, teach me how to love you. Who? You know what? What is the Father saying to me? I think I done had 15 people on this site has been an orphanage. 15. I'm serious. I might have had more than that, but I'm just saying that came out and said it. So somewhere along, let me tell you what he said to them. You see why the men are now trying to get the women to be submissive to them and under their feet? Why ain't they doing what the Father told them? He said you're supposed to take care of the fatherless, the widows, and the orphanage. Why? Because they don't have a male to support them. Why ain't these men doing that? You see, the orphanage is what a higher set there to be there, because I believe that they belong to him. That's why he told them, if you want to do something for me, and I'm spirit, take care of the widows, the orphanage, and the fatherless. You think they would? These Negroes ain't out here trying to take care of nothing but themselves. See, this is where you know they all off course. Like he said, the whole world is off course. They real deep. They real deep. Blessed to be blessed. And others, yes. That's true. That is so true. Yep, the fatherless. That's what all three have in common. Don't that make sense? But tell me, do not that make sense, you guys? That's the work of Yah. He's saying, if you want to represent me, do this. That you ain't gonna find him doing. He even said, the homeless, the sick, the hungry, the prison. You think these men are trying to do something like that? No, they ain't. He's saying, these are the things I'm gonna judge you on, and they don't get it. That's sad, ain't it? And they don't get it. The judgment. And another part that they don't get, you know how he said he had talent. A talent. He gave one this, and he gave this one this many, one this many, and one this many. The Father told me those talents can also be their seeds, their children. Ain't that scary? Now, I didn't learn that long time ago. I just learned that in the last 5 years, that the talents can also be the seeds that he put in their womb, and they left those seeds. You see? Exactly. Oh, no, they won't. You're right. You're right. I believe that. I really believe that, because they're trying to get them under control. That's why they want so much power over them and so much control, so they can deceive them to do the things that they want them to do and be the men that they want for their army, for their community, or even people who it's in their homes, husband and wife and their children. They're breeding things, and they don't understand what you're doing is not of Yah. You get on this devil platform and teaching people 90% of the world and 10% you want to come out the Bible. Get somewhere and kick rocks. And it's not getting better. What are you eating? Because one thing I believe, your vision is one of the things you can actually change. I really do. I really do. A lot of times it's different kind of medication people are on and their diets. I really believe that it can change. I really believe. And I'm not just saying the diet and I ain't gonna say no medicine, but I think the diet and how you strengthen one eye, just exercise, strengthen it, or putting a patch on one to strengthen this one, then put a patch on this one to strengthen this one. You know, things that you can do, but most of all, put it in the hands of the Father and say, where do I go from here? Put it in the hands of the Father. And where do I go from here? Because I think vision is, I've tried it. That's why. You see, I could see, as long as I keep these glasses off, I seem to, my eyes start to get strengthened more. You see what I'm saying? But you're so addicted to putting this on when you just don't want to have to struggle to see. But it gets better the more I keep off of these here glasses. It's the flesh desire. That's all. Yeah. And that type of fast for your vision, you have to have also before the fast, you have to have him in you and you're forming a relationship with him where you hear him. You see what I'm saying? And he's in you to where you hear him. And not only can you hear him, you can see him. You hear his voice. Okay? Because sometimes we can go into fasting, which is a going back, depriving the flesh, taking it from the flesh. But if he is greater in us, let's deal with the spirit that's greater to remove that. Because he said, once you receive him, you shall have power. You shall be able to move a mountain, meaning issues in your life. And problem with your vision could be you trusting that he is as great as he said he is in you. And you feel and you know that he is than he that is in the world. That means if you have to go to a place that has to deal with your eyes or a doctor or vision center or whatever, you have to see him being greater than that. And he can restore your eyes. And that's what has happened in this day and time. We have gone so far from him till we can't find our way home. Because the first thing, one of the Ruach, the spirit of Yah, is what we were just talking about, being on that mountain. What was the devil tempted? To see if he had the power. To what? To defeat everything he was going to say to him. So the Satan was like, if you got the power, I ain't going to waste my time. Let me check and see if you got the power. Are you the son of Yah? And if you are, you see, because the son of Yah is the power. That's Christ. That's God's power. We have to understand, we have to identify ourselves with that power, with the spirit of him that rests in us. And when we start to really can hear him and he's saying things to us throughout the day, then you start to say, wait a minute, I want to go into a fast and deprive my flesh so that I could see, as a form of using the power that is within me. You see, but it has to be where you know that he rests within you. You see, because a lot of us, we don't seem to understand. He is great as he said that he is in us, than he is in the world. You eat once a day. and drink wolfberry tea. Mm. You all eat once a day? I thought it was me. I was just telling my mother. She was saying, "But Booby, why would you do that?" I said, "Ain't that I do it? I don't have no desire." I think it was because of my age, because a elderly lady told me. So let me go get what I was. She told me this about 20 something years. She said, Booby, it's gonna come a time you ain't gonna want to eat. You ain't gonna like it. As you get older, your appetite for eating like you probably like to eat now, you're just not going to be here there. So this is what I was explaining to my mother today. She thought it was so, mama thought it was so neat. Here it is here. I made my smoothies. And in this smoothie, I have black beans, okay, kale, cucumbers, spinach, pineapples, banana, blueberries, garlic, ginger. Did I say carrots? And I blend it up. This here is a meal for one day. All this is blended is a meal. I set this out, let it thaw out just a minute, just a little, and then I drink it like a smoothie. I made that because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel really good. And everything in it is healthy. Because I'm battling with the fact that I think the reason why I went back to this here is because I started to see a lot of the food that they have is not real food. It's not real food. Uh, Let me show you something there. Like today, I stir fried this. This is mushrooms and zucchini. And I stir fry them. I make the bags so I won't have to cut them up. I just fix me a little food and that's it. So even though if I drink this, that's 3 meals. Guess what this does? This make you want to eat. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. And I don't know how to tell people. So it'll make you gain weight as well as lose weight. Now, if you just drink this once a day, that's your 3 meals in this here package. But if you drink this and eat 2 and 3 meals, you're going to gain weight. So I was explaining to mama, I recommend this for seniors, people who having surgery in the hospital, need to pick up weight, people who really need to pick up weight and eat healthy, people who have like cancer and all of that sort of stuff, that they need all healthy things to go in their system like real fast. Here it is. So that's what I made. And I'm going to do a video on what I do, how I make it. I'm going to do that. Wait a minute. You ain't number 41? Oh, my God. Oh, my Father. Oh. Yes, it is. It's Power Meal. And see, I also used to make it for my son. He used to amateur boxing. When he had to get up to a certain weight, he could drink this, 2 or 3 of these, plus eat meals, and it made him pick up weight. So it helps you lose weight, and it's good for losing and to pick up weight. I'm 41 years old, baby. Yeah, I'm 62 too. So yours have changed too. That's what I was saying. I know mine's have. I know mine's have. Do you want to eat? You don't even want to eat sometimes, do you? Y'all babies. Okay, I got another one my age. Yes, we all in there, ain't we? That's how I am. And my mother was talking to me today. She was saying, "Oh no, not me. I figured up fixing me 3 meals." But when I told her about this drink, that just blew her mind because you can get your 3 meals in this drink. I mean, all of it's healthy. So with me, I might eat still a couple of times. I know I should, but I still do it. But I like the idea of having healthy stuff. I know it. Yeah, because of His grace. I know that's right. I know that's right. Give Him the glory. I know that's right. You know what I do like about my live chat is most of the people here knows how to give Father a higher the praise and the glory for any and everything. And I like that. I really like that. Because you go to these other pages, they just praising the individual. And I like the idea y'all know how to praise him and give him the honor and him the glory. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Your eating habits change too. What's going on? Okay. And you 44, y'all young. For his grace and mercy. Yes, yes, yes. Because you know what? Do you see how much grace and mercy do y'all get? Have you ever thought, Father, how could you be pouring out so much grace and mercy on us people? Not us just as a people, just the world. That has to be grace and mercy, and we still here, y'all. Look at what we doing. Not us as a people, though. Everybody. Look at all that grace and mercy. And we can't see him pouring that out. Because so we so busy looking at the flesh. Oh, you did? Last year? Oh my God. I always wonder strokes and heart attacks. Where do they come from? Is it stress or I don't know? Yes, yes, that's what it's all about. Oh wow. Did you have a real heart attack or a slight or what? Yes, he is truly amazing. All he has done and ordered my steps. Thank you, Father, y'all. That's good. And you are blessed. Okay, we got a baby in the house. We got a 31. We're getting younger and younger, ain't we? That's beautiful. A lack of water and diet. All we do is wrong them. And that's sad. You didn't have nerve to want people to give you likes and subscribers like you didn't say it something. You ain't gave nobody no spiritual food. Oh, she did. She started listening. Oh, okay. Ain't that good? Come on with the questions. I'm sure if I can't answer it, somebody in the live chat can. In the live chat, they can answer it if I can't. If I have a question. Let's do that. Let's get some questions. Name, and you can't eat fresh ND blood. What is that? Flesh ND blood. First of all, ain't that don't that sound like the one that came up to the Father's glory for judgment and said, I use this in your name, I use that in your name? He was saying, I did this in your name, I did this in your name, I did this in your name. Only one could have signified that with the finger signing of Yah is to give you an example that those going to be coming up there talking about they know my name. You don't know my name if I ain't gave it to you. I don't care what you got in your book. My name, I am spiritual. My name is hidden in me, and it is spiritual too. So the name is not something that we all think because what they said. We got to know him in the spirit. You can't receive salvation if you don't know, if you don't come in the name of Yah. And you can't eat flesh blood. It's flesh END. Oh, wow. My Father's glory. From the evil. The flesh. What kind of flesh? What is he talking? What is who told you that? Some man, ain't it? When you said the wilderness, you know what? You know what about the wilderness? Let me tell you about that. The wilderness, I believe, when we take kids out of the Babylon, we're going to go into the promised land, and I believe we're going to travel through the wilderness. It's going to be like, you see how Sister Deborah called her school the wilderness, because where I'm taught is at a level of where a higher has me, and it's the wilderness. You see, I can't call it a place that man has me. All I know is what the Father told me it was in the wilderness. I shall teach thee. So I have to say the wilderness. But understanding the wilderness is always going to be a place where he still is going to always orchestrate according to his will, a place where you're going to travel through to get from one place to another. And that wilderness is so important. Let me explain to you why. Traveling from, say for instance, if he came today, he has to allow us to go through the wilderness to get to the promised land. You see how he did the one that was in Pharaoh? He called where he brought them to the wilderness, because he wasn't about to give them the promised land. He already knew their hearts wasn't right. So he wasn't about to give them the promised land. So they stayed 40 years in the wilderness. You see? And the wilderness is still a place of Yah. The reason why that got to be is in Deuteronomy 28, he said we're going to come into captivity a land of our captivity, cursed. Go out cursed. So even traveling through that wilderness, we're still going to be cursed. He's going to clean everybody up once we get to the promised land. Every scripture tells you that. He's going to clean you that when you get there, but we have to get there. So it almost sounds like I can't say it for sure. Now I can tell you what, if I go before the throne of Yah and ask him that question in the wilderness, how are we going to get from here to here? I don't want to jump my gun and just say, I want to know, like I'm entitled for you to tell me. But I believe we're going to travel. And I don't know if it's a ship or boat, or I don't know if it's, all I know is by day and by night, we're going to travel until we get to where he has. And like, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people come talking about the promised land, they need to shut their ugly mouths, because they don't even know what the promised land is. Because as I did my little study from my globe and everything, I see that the promised land was more land that these ignorant Hebrew Israelite movement even talk about. The Nile River and what's that river called? The Ephraim River. I think that's how it's called. That river alone goes all the way out. And for it to go all the way out, it has to be the land that's it surround the promised land. But see, these people don't know that. They just run their mouth. But the wilderness, I think we're going to go into. We're going to go into that wilderness. And we're going to have to go through that wilderness before we go to the promised land. And I think that wilderness is still going to be a place where he still is in full control. Because we're going out cursed, y'all. We ain't going out here set free. We still going to be cursed. Because he said it. You coming in cursed, you're going out cursed. Unless he's speaking of curse all the way to the end until we get out. I don't know. But he said coming in and going out. Meaning if we out, we still going to be cursed. We just going to be traveling through the wilderness or wherever the place. And from what I kind of understand, it's going to be like 3.5 years. So it's going to be whatever it's going to be led by the Spirit of Yah. To love Yah is to give and gave. Yah is give and gave. Take the word love and put it backwards. And that's why I say the Bible is not something, the book itself can't be something to, that's why his spirit came to teach us, because he knew man was going to, this is love backwards. Can you see it? Can you see it? This is love backwards. Evo. Okay? Evo. That's love backwards. Evo. Just like dog. Dog is spelled backwards, is a lowercase God. You see? Some of these words, they know what they put in there. Someone is saying that they want to fast for 7 days. Anybody have any suggestions? What kind of fast are you speaking of? And loving Yah is to give and give. That's what love is. Everything that surrounds what man put in there saying love, because love, you cannot define it. You see? That why do you think Catholic Charity called their the Catholics stole Catholic Charity? That's the name of their organization, Catholic Charity. Because charity it's like a giving, give and gave. And they knew it. And that's what they labored themselves to be, Catholic Charity. All over the world, y'all. All over the world. So to love Yah is to give and give. Okay. And what did he do? That's all he did. He gave us, and at the end, he's going to give us a new heaven and earth on earth. He's going to give us that. As you read the Bible, start watching. When it said love, you're going to see it says give and gave. It's something to see. Okay. Again, it said, I want to fast for 7 days. Anybody have any suggestions? If we join one in the fast, we need to put, what will we hook onto the fast? And it has to be something that has to do with Yah himself. Yeah, that's the journey. Yeah. And I think even the going through the wilderness, we're gonna have many drop off. I think that's just another stage of life we're gonna be going through, because where we're gonna be cleaned up, a new heart, a new name. He gonna put his spirit in us, and all of that. That's gonna be over in the promised land. So we got to get there. So on that journey, so I think a lot gonna fall off. Ephraim. That's something weird. But do y'all see what they doing? They finding all kind of treasures, just taking all that they please. And that river surrounds I believe the true where the promised land somewhere reside. Oh, but no, we know what you're saying. Yeah. But what would you hang on to? What would you hang on to that? See, fasting is when you're depriving flesh so that the spirit can have its way, its full way. And when you're successful in doing that, your body start to heal. Many things in your body start to heal. You start to hear from the Most High or higher in a way that you've never. You start to feel from the inside out different. So when you go into a fast, it's not about just not eating food for the flesh. It has to not take away the flesh, not let the flesh have its will, but what do you want your spirit to really seek Yah for in the midst of this fasting, where you can shut your spirit down and focus on dedicating something or something to come out of it, where you want to hear from Yah in your fast. So, because if we deprive our flesh, what are we asking in the spirit? Oh, I went 2 hours. So let's say, for instance, we called a fast and asked if anybody want to participate in a fast. When we come on one accord, if we're separate, it's one thing. But if you just wanting to just do a fast as a single individual, then it between you and him in what you are fasting for. But become a group thing, then we have to be on one accord with all of us on one accord. What do we want to put before Yah regarding the fast in the way we want to deprive our flesh so that we can connect with him for this. And it's not to give us anything. We cannot fast to gain anything from him and to want something from him, because that's the flesh going back into it to control, to try to control what it wants. But in the spiritual realm, if we want healing or we want deliverance for different things that's going on in our bodies or in our minds and in our families, that's going into demonic situations or stuff like that. So you have to know that, okay, I'm depriving my flesh, I'm putting down my flesh to pick up my spirit. And why I'm picking up my spirit, what do I? His voice. Okay. Have you ever been quiet enough to hear his voice? Where you throw off your mind, just tell your mind you ain't got nothing to say. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want you to talk. Don't say nothing to me. And just focus on feeling that he is in you and that you want him to commune with you. That works a great deal. It's just when we tell our flesh, and you can easily, I heard a man say, and he said, sometimes you got to tell your flesh, shut your mouth. Get on out of here. Shut your ugly mouth. When I heard that man say that, I said, that sound like me. But he sure did. I was like, that you sure do. When he said, I said, you sure do. Yeah, ushering the spirit. The spirit is ever present if it's already there. And if it's not in, then this is a way of wanting him to come into your life. Yep, the flesh is dying. Yeah, that's what I was saying, the reason of why you seek for. And that's something you have to have, so you know that, okay, I'm giving the flesh up, but I'm seeking in the spirit a reason of why I want to shut the flesh down. We need to shut the flesh down every day. Practice on it every hour, just a whole hour. Just practice on not give the flesh nothing that it wants, and just be trying to tune in to the spirit of Yah. Yep. So Sister Deborah then went to 2 hours and 13 minutes. So I hope that each and every last one of you all got something out of this message. And did anybody get a chance to see any of those guys' message? Oh, you did. What did you think? Could you grip anything from it? And everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wonderful. Right. Pay attention to the spirit. That's it. Yep. All righty, thank you. So Sister Deborah is going to shut it down and say, I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. And I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time. I wish we had a topic we could really discuss. I know you was talking about the wilderness. I might just discuss that wilderness. Maybe I need to get into that so you can kind of look forward to what is after coming up out of this here land. Thank you. All right. So I, Sister Deborah, say, okay, someone says Proverbs 31. Let me, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Now you just start something. Proverbs 31. Yeah, we're going to have to do that because I want to not show. I want to go over it to kind of inform people that Proverbs 31 is not for a woman nor a man. It's showing you the spiritual walk. It's a spiritual thing. It's not something, because a Proverbs 31 will not fit not one woman on the face of the earth. You see? So Ahia ain't giving you something when he knows that no one fits that category, because that category itself also shows a woman in full control. You see? So it shows a different side. So with this Proverb 31, you have to catch it and realize this is a spiritual journey. This is not a natural journey. You know, like the parables he give and the examples he give. And you got to go in it and search it to see really what's in it. That is what the Proverbs 31. A lot of women try to claim it and pick through it and make it a part of who they are until I did it. Praise the mighty Yah. I went into that Proverbs 31 and I saw myself in it, but the Father said, but this ain't you. I felt that I was the closest on the face of the earth that fit that Proverbs 31. If you gave that to every last one of my kids and my ex-husband, they'll say that fits you to the T. But me, myself, no. I don't see myself nowhere in half of what she's doing. So therefore, I know I have the spiritual. And with this Proverbs 31, it has nothing to do with y'all. Yeah, listen to this here. The Proverbs 31 has nothing to do as far as a woman in the spiritual realm. That's what I'm trying to say. You see, because nothing she was doing was for the spirit. It was for the flesh of her children, the flesh of business, the flesh of her husband, the flesh of everything was flesh, flesh, flesh. Where was the glory at? Where was the glory to the Father in such a Proverb 31? You didn't see it. You didn't see it. So that's where you have to be careful, because you don't know. So when I read it, I saw half of it me, but then I said, wait a minute, Father, that sounds like me. Some of that sound like me. But then he told me it's a spiritual thing. So somewhere we're going to go over that, because we're going to see where it rests in the spirit. That's you nailed that one, because that's a good one. Woo, that's a good one. Let me put that down. Woo, I'm excited. I might not go to bed tonight. I might not go to bed tonight. That's a good one. Thank you. All right. That's great. That's wonderful. What you say you driving? Oh, you are? But if you go back in it, when you go back in it, now that I told you spiritual, you go in and you go say, oh no, that sister was telling the truth. This thing ain't natural. But see, they want you to think that a man can't compare you to that and still want you to be submissive. That's what they don't understand. That's what they don't understand. You see? Huh? She looked at foolish. What's that said? She looked at foolish. Your resume spoke for itself. But yeah, so that's what the we got to go over that one too. Yep. Yeah, but I am too. I think that you done started something now. I have to go to bed. No, I might not go now. I might not go. Because I had already been over it with the Father. And I was telling him, how could something like that be in this book? And I match half of it and not all of it. And I'm in spirit and truth. I'm walking in the light. I am spirit and truth. I'm your prophetess. Why is it I'm not matching that? He said, because you can't. I said, that's more like. He said, Deborah, it's a spiritual, it's a spiritual parable. So that's what feel good about it when he said that. Because you listen to people and they make you think this is how you're supposed to. Father said, no, it's not. See, because we messed up from the floor. That's why he called wisdom her. He's called the house of Israel, the bride, and he calls mother, the earth mother, what is it? Zion. He called the daughters of Zion. You know, he called everything some sort of female entity. So that's a part that might even help you. So when we go over to tomorrow, maybe you can give your insight on it. So please go over it tomorrow too and see if the Father give you some insight on it, because you'll see a lot of it got to be spiritual. It's just not something that a woman, not even Sarah, and she's the mother of all, can match that. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you're at home. Good. Safe. All right. Thank you. So Sister Deborah says, shalom, and I will see each and every last one of you, hopefully, if God's willing, and He is, tomorrow. Shalom and shalom.